Dear Diary, my teen angst bullshit has a body count. Oh, I wonder who liked this movie. We watched Heathers for this week's episode of...
Well, we'll just tell your mother that we ate it all.
Sex. We're talking about sex.
Let's talk about sex with your sex therapist host, Andrew Hastings.
I'm a sex therapist.
We're talking about being sex positive.
I like...
on this
God.
All right, so here's my first hot take on sex. I like to have sex. It's just human to have
I like
sex.
that you sound like a southern preacher as well. Just like, I like to have sex. Sex.
Where did this come from? This wasn't even anything like what we were just talking about.
I don't know. Sometimes you feel a riff.
Because it's feeling a little sexy. Yeah. Oh, man.
Do you think people would listen to you do a sex therapy, sex positive podcast?
Yeah, I got some sex tips for you. All right. Step one.
Raw.
It's all.
Step one, have diarrhea on her while you're having sex.
All right, so it's Glengarry Glen Ross shit, right? So step one.
So I've got to get the Hastings leads.
Step one,
Yeah.
cut a hole in the box.
ABC, all right? Always be cucking. That's what you always
be cucked.
Always be cucked, I believe.
You always got to be cucking. You got to be getting cucked. You got to be doing the cucking. That's what sex is in 2019.
Your only concept of having sex is someone having sex with your wife.
Yeah. That's what I call having sex. It's when someone has sex with my wife.
Yeah, I'm getting laid tonight. When? Right now.
I'm getting laid right now, dudes.
Yeah. There's a middle-aged man in my girlfriend's bed. He's really giving it to her.
Sex. They're having sex. I'm enjoying doing that. That's fun.
Sex.
Sexy.
I'm not enjoying you doing that.
Because you're a prude.
Yeah.
Hey, I like to have...
Don't be so sex negative, Rose.
I feel like I'm very sexual.
The results are in. You are actually sex negative.
The results. Yeah, we've just got this blood work back from the lab.
We've tested your feces. You are sex negative.
Yeah. We got your blood work back from the lab. You are sex negative because you didn't want to be involved in blood play.
You are sex negative because you are HIV positive.
I've had some girls ask me to do like blood play with them.
What's blood play?
It's like where you like cut each other with knives.
That's real fuck.
That's real Sid and Nancy
I didn't do it. Like I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I
It was
wouldn't.
this girl on Tinder.
But they were like, well, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah, it was this girl on Tinder.
Someone
she was
like, I'll stab you.
people do like needles.
you stab
as
me?
well. Yeah, it's like a thing. It's not much.
That's acupuncture.
Yeah, there's like all that BDSM
Yeah,
stuff where people get like fucking hung up by
Yeah,
like hooks and
it's
shit.
the same.
It's horrifying.
It's the same family. Hey, it's like it's not my bag, but I'm not here to yuck you. If you guys want to
no,
consensually stab each other,
I'm
not going to
ball
yuck your yum,
torture.
but I just don't get it.
so I think CBT is a common
Cock and ball torture.
Yeah, but also it's
I love that but like the methods are different. Where it's like, yeah, I'm really into ball torture, and he just like puts a little towel above his balls and then
Starts
pours
pouring
water
starts
onto
water.
it. He's like, tell us where Osama bin Laden is.
people do waterboarding in sex as well. That's like a thing.
I've always thought that it would be fun to like waterboard someone live on a podcast and see like just like test if it like how badly it works.
Is this like the Chinese like drip torture or whatever?
No, the
No,
Chinese
it's
drip
much-
torture is more psychological. Waterboarding makes you think
It's
you're
like-
drowning.
Yeah,
and
it's the sensation.
it's like
of drowning.
incredibly painful.
But
yeah.
but the Chinese drip torture thing isn't just psychological, because isn't it like because water erodes anything, so
Sure,
like
yeah.
But it
eventually
really
it
fucks
starts
with
to
your
like
head.
feel
Yeah.
like someone's hitting you in
Yeah.
the head with a hammer.
But a lot of that's like kind of like psycho, and it's like a prolonged discomfort that becomes quite
Yeah.
painful. Waterboarding, you immediately feel like you're drowning.
Right.
It's like immediately.
Other
horrible.
cock and ball torture is to just like run in, flick on the lights, and play Metallica. Really loud stuff.
Well,
Dude, that sounds like a fucking sick night for me.
well, that's the thing about CBT means cock and ball torture, but also it means cognitive behavioral therapy, which is like the most common kind of therapy.
There would be a lot of different CBT acronyms.
Yeah, but they're the two I know: cock and ball torture and cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yeah, the
That
ones that
speaks
really
to you
relate to
so
you.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, cognitive behavioral therapy is actually really useful, and like I use it all the time.
What is it, like Dianetics?
It's not one thing. It's a whole bunch of. There's hundreds of different techniques.
Is it
for
life hacks?
But it's kind of it's ways to change the way you think about things.
Dude, I got a sick way for you to hang up your hoodies that doesn't get little
Creases?
Well,
It's cock and ball torture.
the marks from the coat hangers when they're hanging up.
Oh,
all
yeah,
summer.
yeah. That's a life hack.
Yeah.
That's CBT, baby.
Yeah.
A lot of it is it's really similar to medicine.
Hint: it involves cock and ball. torture.
What about this one?
Yeah.
CBT, cop and brain therapy.
Yes, dude. I love cop and brain.
Hey, can you come over, give me a little CBT?
Yeah, I'm feeling a little anxious. I need some CBT.
Yeah, the old cummy balls therapy.
It's all just different tricks to like sort of basically separate the feeling from yourself. So
Cannabis
rather than
blazing
living the
therapy.
feeling,
Oh, he loves that one.
I do love that one. It's it's a lot of different things, but it's like kind of like meditation. It just means that your feelings are not you; they're separate from you and anything that's happening to you, as opposed to, it's rather than I am
So
sad.
it's passing the buck.
It's rather than I am anxious. It's I am feeling anxious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's treating it as an
So
objective.
it's like kindergarten teaching, but for therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, use your words.
Sort of. It's more like creating distance between yourself and your feelings.
Yeah, so it is passing the buck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Just like I'm not responsible. This
So it should
invisible
actually-
No, you still gotta
entity.
respond-
So it should actually
It's-
be called PTB.
It's you can treat it and you can work on it better if it's separate from yourself. I'm explaining this terribly.
I mean, obviously I know. It's like, I am trying to do a bit, so like occasionally people will wonder, like, why do they get the alt-right guy to come on and watch movies? Like occasionally he seems like he has the same humor, but other times it does not seem like that at all. It's just making fun of therapy, which is helping a guy. It's like, yeah, I know. My friend's a fucking idiot and he's in therapy. It helps him.
Imagine if I had never done therapy. Like if I wasn't in therapy and I never was.
Uh-huh.
I'd be such a fucking. I'd be the worst. I mean,
I don't know.
realistically,
I don't know, because you wouldn't know any of the terminology, so you'd just probably be like a dickhead.
If you had never had any sort of
I
psychological
might be dead,
intervention, I was
like-
going to say, do you genuinely think you
There's
would
a
still be
good
alive?
chance I'd be dead. Yeah. But also, like, who knows? Maybe not. Maybe I'd just be pretty addicted.
Maybe
to
you'd be an
drugs.
alpha.
I don't think so, dude.
you might just be a crackhead.
Yeah, I didn't start going to therapy till I was like 19. I didn't go as a kid.
I didn't start going to therapy until I was like 27.
It's brain chemistry,
Yeah, dude.
but you're getting.
Oh no,
brain-
I went to a child psychologist when I was like 9 or 10.
Were they like, dude, you're a chick? And you were like,
Yeah.
what? And you were
No,
like,
it was more like dealing with the parents' divorce stuff.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what's going wrong with my family? Like, dude, you're a chick.
Yeah.
I think this might be a Catholic school thing. I don't know. But we did a thing called Seasons for Growth where all the kids with divorced
That
parents.
sounds so gross.
Yeah.
All the kids with divorced
Yeah, you're
parents.
giving me a season for gross, little Andrew.
Yeah.
Now take your wafer.
All the kids with divorced parents.
Also, you
would
have
go,
to put it on your tongue,
Jesus
but it's
Christ.
sitting on top of my cock.
Sometimes the wafer will squirt stuff in your
You
mouth.
know, oh, Rose, you know that thing you just said about eating a wafer off a priest's cock? Saw that in a porno once.
Did you really?
Yeah, I really did.
Who showed it to you, Father Matthews?
Honestly,
Tell me it wasn't barely legal porn.
it was not. It was like a scenario. It was like art porn, and it was like a scenario where like a priest was having a threesome with two. I guess.
What's
nuns.
art porn?
It's like real arty. It's like a modern kind
Or
of
like
porn.
Stoya or something.
It's like dog.
It's like that vibe. Yeah.
Dogma 95.
She's not in it, but yeah.
Where you can only do certain camera angles and it has to be filmed in a certain way.
It's all like
Who's the guy from Dogma 95? It's Lars von Trier, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So it's him directing.
It is like it's like a Lars von Trier vibe porn. Absolutely. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what it's.
Have you? How much Lars von Trier stuff have you seen?
None. Because,
Right.
you know,
I saw
He def-
Antichrist. It was pretty fucked.
Well,
I-
he did the Nymphomaniacs.
Yes,
as well,
he did,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
I've always
But-
wanted to watch them, but then I'm always like, I could just watch porn.
They're pretty scary,
Yeah.
dude. I haven't
Yeah.
seen those ones, but like his movies are scary.
Who's
Like,
naked
the
in
be-
it that's like worth seeing?
Well,
I haven't seen
Well, this is
Nymphomaniacs.
the best one. Is Melancholia, which is a
That's
rea-
Nicole Kidman, right? Or
no,
Kirsten
no,
Dunst?
it's Kirsten Dunst,
Yeah,
which is
I've heard that's great.
which is a really good movie, and even though it fills you with a tremendous sense of dread, but there's just this. It's totally unnecessary. This scene where like they all know that the end of the world is coming
So
or
they
whatever,
follow.
and there's like this like big moon or whatever, and they're just like sort of panning over this like I think it's like next to a lake or whatever, and for no real reason, Kirsten Dunst is just lying there in the moonlight, just fully naked.
I mean,
I
I think
gotta,
there's
I
a
gotta watch
reason.
this now.
I think there's
she
a reason.
looks resplendent.
So Lars von
It's-
Trier can jack off to it.
Yeah, it's just like, whoa, damn, but why?
All right, so the opening scene of Antichrist is it's Willem Dafoe and what's Serge Gainsbourg's
Charlotte Gainsbourg.
Charlotte Gainsbourg's. It's Willem Dafoe and Charlotte Gainsbourg are fucking. In
Have
the
you ever
shower.
listened to much of her music?
Yeah, she's good.
It's really good.
Yeah. So they're fucking in the shower, and like you see it go in, like it's full on penetrative, like real life sex. We're saying.
But that's not
That's like
them.
that.
No, it's not them, but there's a close up of a dick going into a pussy.
That's like
Yeah.
that Vincent
Ni-
Gallo movie where he cops head from Chloe Sevigny.
Yeah.
And like, but it's real. Like it's him getting
Yeah.
it. 'cause they were-
Nymphomaniac, there's some like real sex happening in it.
Anyway, so I haven't got to the twist yet. So there's penis in. You're watching the penetration. It's a really graphic sex thing. Willem Dafoe, Charlotte Gainsbourg. It's going off.
So we should say this is we'll just say Mother Ed. We're doing Antichrist.
There's a bit where they're fucking, and this is like the very first scene. But they look. She looks over, and he doesn't see. But their toddler son is jumping out the window, And
Fuck me.
yeah. So their kid dies. The movie starts with their
And she
kid
doesn't
dying.
go to stop?
No. This is like a big part of the movie. She doesn't. She's
Oh, is she the Antichrist?
she's too caught. Well, kind of. That's sort of part of it. She
I
thinks
haven't-
she goes insane and thinks she's a witch.
I've been reticent to watch it. I hadn't heard of that scene, but I heard that there is a scene in it where like they're engaging in some sort of BDSM where she essentially like beats the fuck out of his dick.
Yeah, it's not beating his
And
hand.
then
He's hostage at that
and then he
stage,
comes blood.
He comes blood. You see him come blood.
Sick.
He's got a. It's like a wrench around his dick.
Oh,
and like
what kind of wrench?
like a. What do you mean? What kind of
Don't
wrench?
wanna
important.
be a monkey wrench.
I want to know the tools.
It's like a big wrench,
Yeah, okay.
and it's like
Stainless
You
You
steel.
might say
So
she
it's-
threw a spanner in the
she used it to like put his dick
that's
in a
good.
vice and like fuck his dick up, and he comes blood and shit. It's fucking disgusting.
Man, would you put your dick in a vice?
No.
Yeah.
Mine's in one right now. That's it. How do you think I tuck?
This podcast feels like my dick is in a vice.
Like that's now the phrase we use. Like when you're just having like a tough day.
Yeah,
My boss got my fucking dick in a
Yeah.
vice.
That's what I'm gonna
How's
say.
your mental health? Man, my brain's like a dick in a vice, dude.
That's what I'm gonna say next time I'm bombing and they're
You
like,
guys have
and
put
I've
my
like,
dick in a vice
and
here.
I've tucked for the gig or whatever. I'll be like, oh man, like put my dick in a vice for this.
Man, I got my dick in a fucking vice.
I'm tucked and I like to fuck.
Yeah.
That's what you
Dude,
should say.
You're just reading off my t-shirt.
I like Lars von Trier then segues out and he makes Doggo 95 movies. Only movies with small puppets.
Puppets.
They're all Shiba Inus.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, look
like
at all
the
those.
most expensive film productions of all time because they're like $15,000 dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
look at all those good boys.
It is actually Doggo 95. We are capturing art here, and then one of the dogs comes blood.
Yeah.
He is star of the film. He is goodest fluff.
He's little fluffer.
Yeah. Lars von Trier runs the We Rate Dogs account.
I reckon there's got to be like
we have
people who
many
do
good
that.
fur babies in this.
14 out of 10.
Bork, bork.
That's a good bit. That's a
Yeah.
good character.
This movie will.
Lars von Trier, Doggo 95.
This movie will do you a frighten.
Look at all these heckin' puppers.
It's just like Kirsten Dunst fully naked, being like, Lars, what's going on? He's like, oh heck.
You know, we always talk about our best character on this podcast, and I reckon
Yeah,
like
Doggo 95.
yeah,
It's pretty good.
Ican has Lars von Trier's burger.
I can has cheeseburger as a cat
I
owner.
was so
Yeah.
happy with
It's
that.
a cat one though. You're close. You're in the right
Yeah,
family.
I was thinking
But it's the
about
same,
doing
like,
it, but
school
yeah, there's one we're missing, I think. But I think doing Me a Frighten was my favorite because that also fits with like Lars von Trier. He's like,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
hecking
yeah.
doggos are going to do a frighten because the world is fucked.
Because pain is life.
Pain is Sheba.
the ongoing dread of life.
Man.
He
Let's just abandon this podcast and do Doggo 95 for the rest
He
of
just
it.
needs a dog. That's it. He just needs some dog therapy.
I mean, he probably needs a lot of shit. Like,
that's true.
Yeah, give that man an Oscar.
has he not got one?
I have
And
no
also
fucking
give
clue.
that man a new.
Yeah.
For that scene in
Give that
Melancholia.
man a new. Man, yeah, Antichrist is fucked. Don't watch it. What a horrific movie.
Melancholia
Very
was one of
upsetting.
those this happened twice. Is like years ago when I was dating this girl. We'd been together for like 4.5 years, and it was like towards the very end of our relationship where we kept being like, "What should we do tonight?" Like, "Oh, we'll watch a movie, and then we'll just like have sex and go to bed." And we watched that, and then we're just like,
Wait, which one?
"Which whom?"
What movie?
What movie?
Melancholia.
Oh, right.
And then we're just like, I don't really feel like having sex.
I'm going to go
And
sleep on the couch tonight.
And the other one that we watched, which we should have seen coming, was Shame.
Oh, yeah.
Which
Oh, is
like,
that the one
I don't-
where
like, I
Michael
don't-
Fassbender has a huge knob?
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
also got a sex
Addicted to
addiction.
yeah.
And
So it's
it
like
was just-
Hastings.
So not only
You're
were
right. I
like-
do have a huge knob.
Not only was it like we shouldn't
You are a
have
huge knob.
sex,
Damn.
but maybe we should never have sex again ever.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
our lives.
Yeah.
Good movie though.
I
No.
mean, sex can be healthy.
Sex can be healthy. Yeah, Antichrist is all about like the interplay between like sex, grief, and witchcraft. So it's pretty, it's pretty
Yeah.
wild shit. What else has been going on with you dudes? I feel like I had a story for the pod, but I can't remember what it was.
I don't know. You fucked someone.
Hang on,
No, I
let's
mean-
say all of his
Blazed.
key words. Fuck,
Yeah.
weed.
Fine. It was fine.
Yeah, it was
Is that
fine.
triggering anything for you?
Yeah.
We're getting close to it.
It
Yeah.
was fine. Actually, did well.
Fiance. Best friend's ex-girlfriend.
Came too quickly.
But hang on, Sam had a suggestion.
What was the suggestion, Sam?
Suggestion, Sam?
Tinder. Ooh, maybe that was Tinder.
Bumble, Hinge.
Yeah, we might have got there.
No, I feel like I did something fucked recently.
Of course you
Probably.
did. But hang on, do you remember any highlights from the group chat?
I think you did.
Sam has also just suggested he sent another
You drank
video.
You drank like Hennessy on a train or something.
Oh,
Oh, was it that?
Yeah,
was
might
it
be
the
that.
follow up with the train girl?
yeah. So you remember the story about me prematurely ejaculating in Hurstville?
How could we
Yeah.
forget?
I had another date with that girl, and it went.
Getting off at Cogra, as we call it.
Yeah, it actually went. Honestly, the date went great, but we were drinking Jack Daniels and soda water on the train at like 8 p.m. Like it was so early.
Yeah, that's
and
so
we were
lame.
getting people.
Your whole
staring.
life is living like the life of grotty, like
17-year-old boy.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to live.
Do you?
Yeah.
Does your therapist think that?
No, she doesn't. She thinks I need to make some serious changes. Nah, whatever. It's all good. I don't know. I saw. And I saw all these fucking movies. I
Yeah,
feel like I'm just watching teen sex comedies with all my time now.
Yeah, especially with the double. Like half a day is taken if you do it in one day.
I haven't.
I was making it a point of like trying to get up early and just like watch them while I was in bed. So I'm like, well, I'm not doing anything else. I'm just like trying to get up.
Yeah, it's not bad. I haven't been gigging much since Melbourne. I've been gigging like a couple times a week.
Good.
I've been gig pigging, baby.
Back to you.
been
Yeah.
Get back to a not healthy level before you go back and take the crown again.
Yeah, I need to write. I need to write some shit.
Didn't we chuck you on at Everly last Sunday?
Yeah, I did 2 spots last night. I've still been gigging. Like I'm doing like 2-3 a week.
Yeah, right.
You're supposed to 6 or 7 a
I've
week.
been doing about 5 or 6.
That's good, dude.
Mm.
You writing for a new show?
Yeah.
Yeah, sick. We gotta start working on our project, James.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, like, I feel like you should say it's your project. Like,
It's
I
my
wanna-
project, but
yeah.
I want you to help me write it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but yes, I've got a few ideas written down. Look, we're talking very cryptically. We'll announce it probably in August or some shit
Yeah, maybe.
if it ends up happening.
yeah.
Yeah, it should be fun, dude.
I'm getting usurped by a better offer from Craig Ivanov.
I'm 1/6 owner in the
I just
room.
think we need Lauren Bonner to do 2 nights.
She can bring the audience.
Fucking, she showed that she can.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, Hastings brought an audience to his SCF show, and like,
Yeah,
I
I
was scanning the room. Not a lot of them knew him.
No, I'd sell tickets. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people that didn't know
In
him,
Sydney.
there were 2 guys with the straightest faces on the entire time. But like, to be fair, watching you talk about sex to like a group of like people our age all laughing, they were 2 middle-aged men built like rugby league
they're not
players.
for. It's
Like,
not for them. Like,
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't know what else has been going on. I've
Would
been.
you-
What's in the news?
Do you reckon that could be like the most intimidating gig you could do? Is just like you to like a room full of like professional NRL players?
Yeah, that would be horrifying
Yeah.
for me. I reckon
I wouldn't have a fucking hope in hell either.
I reckon I'd crack them. I reckon they'd like to laugh at me.
I reckon it would just be a combination of you crowd working them and like being self-deprecating. That'd crack them. I reckon
Yeah.
you could crack NRL people pretty easy.
Yeah.
I think you would have a better chance than I would.
yeah, they
Absolutely.
hate what you are.
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah. They can't say it in as many words.
Yeah.
They can't say many words.
Yeah,
either.
they don't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you or anything you stand for.
Yeah.
They just know hungry, thirsty, and smash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Piss in mouth.
Yeah.
Mad Monday.
Yeah.
I would love to. We should
Fuck dog.
do it. I tell you, I reckon.
Mad Monday would be sick to do after a Power Bomb Comedy Festival.
Yeah.
Just like get drunk and like cause trouble.
I
Yeah.
had my own.
But, like,
Mad
it's
I
Monday.
reckon-
I
Mad
went-
Monday,
I
bitch.
went to the hotel and got a sex worker, and it ruled.
I reckon we should do Mad Monday after PBCF this year.
Yeah, that'd be cool. We all just take Monday off.
Yeah, take Monday off and just fucking dress up as
Just fucking-
chicks or dudes. In
Yeah,
your case.
fuck-
Yeah, I'll dress up as you.
Just
Yeah.
fucking take videos of ourselves snorting cocaine off each other's penises, being like, "There's no chance anyone will ever see this."
While everyone in the background yells sausage, sausage.
Yeah, and says all of our names, addresses, and credit card
Yeah,
details.
yeah. And just looking directly in the camera and like, I don't regret any of it.
In fact, I will do worse.
If I apologize for this, don't believe me.
I will never
It's
apologize
just
for
me on
anything.
camera going, it's just a character.
I would never apologize for anything as long as it's just a bloody joke, alright?
Just a bloody joke.
Oh,
giving
What's
you-
happened in this country?
Can't any of these cunts take a fucking joke?
Man,
It's the lamestream media,
I'm so
dude.
angry that the footy show's been cancelled.
It's just the
That was
AFL
the
one,
AFL
right?
one.
yeah, it's the
But that's
footy
the
show.
shit one.
Yeah, but you would have never
No,
watched
I've
the
never-
AFL
I've literally
footy
never
show.
seen it.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
only people like
The
the
AFL footy
NRL
show
one.
was better than the NRL one.
I've
But
never
that's
seen
because
that,
it
so-
was more like more analysis, right?
Yeah, there was.
The NRL footy show is known as funnier.
Yeah.
There's barely
And like,
to the point
and,
where
like,
barely
yeah.
about football.
To the point, it was just like, here is just a bunch of dumb shit with ex-footy players.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, the
there wasn't any
NRL show
football
is
at all.
funnier in a way where one of the characters is a gay flight attendant,
Yeah.
making
Trent
NRL
the flight
players
steward, baby.
think that he's gay.
Trent the flight steward was very funny.
Yeah, I know, but like you can't do it anymore.
Oh, no
I don't
fucking
think.
way could
I
you
don't
do
even think you could do half the stuff. Basically
I
everything
think
Matty John stuff.
But I think people realised that early on, which is
Particularly
why
the
he got
gang rape.
pushed more
Yeah.
into the Reg Reagan thing. Because
Yeah.
it was just like a rough and tumble bloke who loves a fight.
Yeah, I
That's-
did love Reg Reagan.
I mean, like Andrew Johns, you can't do anything he does anymore because that's like
Oh, and I still
having
do,
clinical
though.
depression and
The,
snorting cocaine.
ecstasy was-
yeah.
He got busted with caps. Good on him. I do love.
I mean, why not? If you're like a professional dead shit, why don't they just let you take caps? Like
Yeah.
half of your life is getting hit in the head. Like let them feel some joy.
yeah.
Like they're not going to remember their wives' names. Let them at least fucking goof
Yeah.
on for a bit.
Yeah, it seems like kind of a tragic life, really.
NRL.
Yeah.
I think it's becoming more and more clear that a lot of them. There's some like really sad stuff. and, like,
I reckon we could see the demise of NRL in our lifetime.
I think
provided that we
think
live
maybe
longish.
the same with NFL as well, because like
NFL's huge.
NFL
like America's so big.
NFL is huge, yes, but like maybe 50 years, like a lot of people, like people who were on the cover of Madden when I was buying it in high school, have now like killed family members and committed suicide due to
Concussion.
CTA,
yeah. I was thinking of CTP, which is contents insurance.
I think cock and ball
CTP
torture
insurance.
again.
I was thinking of that too.
I need to get that CBT insurance. Yeah, I'm just really worried that I'm not going to be able to have children after this.
Got my dick in a vice
dominatrix,
right
like,
now.
bashes the shit out of my testicles.
Oh, I have a story.
Yeah,
I was at work drinks a couple of days ago,
yeah.
and a few of us were standing around.
Standing around.
Yeah, like standing under like a beer garden thing.
Yeah.
No standing.
And
around. You're
I-
sitting there talking
I-
about things that you love.
Yeah, and anyway, I farted, and
I'm on board.
like I smelt it, and I was like, "That's."
Are you saying this because you farted now? Because
Yeah.
I swore
Yeah.
I swore I could.
Yeah,
smell
I just
I also
I farted about
now.
2 minutes ago.
Yeah, I
God,
also farted
yeah.
just now.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Ah, our powers combined.
Like I'm in the corner here. I
It's
feel
a
like I'm being.
transphobic attack.
I
Anyways,
don't have one on deck. I need to.
so
fight
I
back.
farted, and
I had, like, 3 black
I
Or is
didn't
this just friendly fire?
I didn't think it would be like a bad one, but it smelled really bad.
I love those ones.
And then you realize you shit yourself.
And I was sitting around, and I was like, "All right, I'm standing really close to
Did you
people.
do these ones where you go and give like a weird like, oh,
Man.
that stinks face?
Not far off."
I've done that in public where I'm like, oh,
And I
who did this?
So I did it, and I was like, I'm about to, like, someone's about to say something. There's no way someone says anything. I'm like, all right, that's fine. Just anticipate
The
it.
problem is that you totally are like suspect.
yeah, you're the
number one.
easiest
Absolutely.
person to pick. You
But,
should have just said I farted.
But I absolutely like.
Sorry, I thought it was gonna be okay.
Well, I didn't know some of the
I
people.
thought it was
in
gonna
the
be
town.
loud but proud. It was silent but violent.
So I was like ready to like. So I made it so as soon as someone was like, "Hey, did someone?" I go, "Yeah, I smell it too."
You should have
Right
fucking smoke bombed.
Yeah, man.
But those situations,
Crop dusting.
almost like it. Whenever it gets brought up, no one will ever admit it. So everyone knows someone farted, but no one will ever know who except the person who farted.
Yeah, and I know who farted. Oh, I know. Yeah, and it felt good.
So
I love a good fart.
this movie, it was at the
Oh,
first
hang on.
time.
We'll just tell you, Mother, we had all podcasts about teen stage comedies. I'm your one true host, Rose Piper, joined by
Pretender host Jamie Kirk.
and
Holy Spirit host Andrew Hastings.
So this week we're doing Heathers. Heathers is a 1988 American dark comedy film written by Daniel Waters and directed by Michael Lehman, brother of Darren Lehman,
Of the Lehman brothers.
former Australian cricket coach,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Anthony Lehman, aka Lemo. It stars Winona Ryder and Christian Slater. The film portrays 4 teenage girls, 3 of whom are named Heather, in a clique at an Ohio high school, and it doesn't go into any more detail than that.
I loved this movie.
Yeah,
thought it was
well,
really good.
that's what I was gonna say. Was it the first time you'd watched this?
Yes.
See,
Yeah, I'd never seen it.
what surprises me is that you haven't been a Heathers fan since you were in like your mid.
I think I
Yeah,
should have
this,
been.
this
Yeah,
feels like
this
something.
seems like so on brand with like Nightmare. Like if you're on Tinder, your bio should be like Nightmare Before Christmas, old emo bands, Heathers. You know, like it should say
Yeah.
that on
Yeah.
it.
I
And then
hadn't-
like also like small penis.
I had intended.
Yeah, probably because of the small penis I have.
yeah,
I had
yeah.
intended to watch this regardless of the podcast because in season 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race, a like little clique of like the bitchy girls forms, and they think they look like them, so they call themselves the Heathers.
Yeah, right.
And one of them is now trans icon Carmen Carrera.
I've been meaning to watch it for a long time because one of my favorite albums is named after it.
Yes.
What is it?
Dear Diary, My Teenage Angst Has a Body Count by From First to Last.
Right.
There are a lot of good replacements references in this movie.
There were?
Well, the school is called Westerberg High after Paul Westerberg.
Is that actually a reference to that?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And then, like, one of Christian Slater's last lines is "Color me impressed," which
Oh,
is
he does say that too.
Yeah. Both, they're very dead-on replacements references.
Yeah, I love that song.
So then, after that, I blasted the replacements to the consternation of my wife, who does not like them nearly as much as me.
I
Hey,
blasted
don't
from
worry.
first
You
to
hang
last.
around here for a few minutes after this pod and we can fucking bang it out.
Yes.
I reckon you guys should listen to Ride the Wings of Pestilence, which is based on this movie. It's
Oh, what, the song is?
the song by From First to Last from that album. It's kind of like loosely based on this movie.
You
It's
know
about
what
murdering high school people. Like,
You know what I was trying to figure
and it has
out?
the line, "Dear Diary, my teen angst bullshit has a body count."
Yeah.
Do you know what I was trying to figure out was like, because we had originally said that we wanted to try and watch everything that they parody in Not Another Teen Movie.
Yeah.
And this is one of the movies that's parodied. What bit in Not Another Teen Movie comes from this?
Is there a
Can't
croquet
remember.
scene? I feel like maybe there might be a
Maybe?
croquet scene because the croquet stuff rules in this movie. I loved all that shit.
I like the murders.
Yeah, the murders are dope.
I mean, like, I can see it.
I had the plot of this described to me, and it was totally sort of different to what I'd envisaged. Because I kind of thought that it was like these two people were just like, "Hey, fuck everyone at this high school," and then just went on a
Yeah,
murderous
she's kinda, like,
rampage.
reluctantly-
But she's like doesn't want to be involved in it, and he's just a psycho who's trying to
Yeah.
kill people.
Yeah.
He's very sexy though.
I was just about to say, you also seem like a person who'd be like either want to be Christian Slater or want to fuck him. He's
Yeah.
got a very weird affectation.
It's so
He's
weird.
trying to be.
like he's squinting his eyes and be like, "Hey, man."
He's trying to be Jack
Chris-
Nicholson.
Yeah, he's trying to be
Christian-
Zach Hutchinson.
Christian Slater.
Jack Hutchell Nicholson.
We're
or whatever.
gonna kill this dude, man.
Hey man.
Yeah, I guess Jack Nicholson is the best
Yeah.
proxy.
It's-
Yeah, he was
it's-
totally trying to be Jack
It's
Nicholson.
weird to see Christian Slater, who I'm used to seeing as like a middle-aged man,
Alcoholic.
play like a
Yeah,
sexy
hey, I,
teen.
because I was like, what happened to him? So I went through his Wikipedia page for the personal life
really
section.
fucked it for a
he,
bit.
he had some fucking rotten times.
Yeah, he
where
really
was like,
fucked it before Mr. Robot.
he was
came
out
in.
and like fucking beating women while
Yeah.
on speedballs and shit.
Yeah, he loved
Really,
that shit.
I didn't
Mm.
know about
But he's still a teen heartthrob.
He
Totally.
seems to. It does like no forgiving that. It's terrible behavior, but he does seem to have tried to reform himself.
Absolutely.
Like he does like a lot of charity work. and
Here's an
shit.
interesting thing for me regarding you two having just watched this movie and liked it. It's
Had
such
you
a-
seen it before?
Oh, I've seen it a bunch of times.
All
Like,
right.
I'd seen it when I was a teenager. Like,
Yeah.
I've always thought it was good.
I hadn't even heard of it until that RuPaul's Drag Race.
That's
thing.
what I'm getting to, is that before we watched this, we did kind of
Yeah, Jawbreaker.
we did Jawbreaker, which is a clear Heathers ripoff and sucks.
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Like,
it's more.
so
like
it's interesting for you guys to
ripping
see
off-
the ripoff first.
It's not ripping off all of Heathers. It's ripping off like one part of Heathers.
Yeah, and getting the
Yeah.
rest of it wrong.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like
But
because
it's
a
that
lot
one part is pretty egregious.
because I like watching this. I was like, because there were a lot of reviews that were like, Jawbreaker is basically a fucking like total ripoff of it. And I'm like, not really.
yeah,
Like
parts.
one little bit.
A lot of the
but,
aesthetic
like,
stuff is like pretty, like the like
Yeah,
the,
'cause
everyone
it's
had
like-
matching
oh, but
colours
yeah, but it
and
was
the-
just like 90s versus.
It's quite
Yeah.
like Heathers is quite stylized, like
Yeah.
with the croquet and the outfits and the,
Yeah.
very 80s new romantic shit.
yeah.
Winona Ryder looks so fucking good in this movie. I would
She's
love to
would
smash
gorgeous.
Yeah.
I would love to. I didn't realize how much I liked Winona Ryder until this movie.
Winona Ryder.
But you were probably more into like the Martha Dunstock dump truck.
Is that
Yes.
Beetlejuice?
That was the big fat girl.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Very
yeah.
good.
That scene at the end where she goes around on her motorized cart and circles around Winona Ryder cracks me up.
Yeah.
Like that's how she shows her affection, just circling
Yeah,
like
like a cat.
It's so funny to me.
All the stuff about teenage suicide I thought was interesting. Like, I didn't realize that's kind of like what...
Did anybody else get on their stereo and bang out Teenage Suicide by Unwritten Law up to this?
Oh,
Yes,
man.
I did, yes.
Did you really?
Yeah, I love that song.
I
I was thinking, as I finished it, I was like, oh man, I love that song Teenage Suicide by Unwritten Law.
I was a real big Unwritten Law fan.
I met the dude.
I think I only
It
know
was Scott
one.
Russo.
I can't remember his
I
name.
think I only
The
know
singer.
one.
Yeah, he was
Scott
he was at Memories one night.
Yeah, Scott Russo.
He was there for like an after party thing.
He's like real good friends with Phil Jamison from Grinspoon.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like
Goodness.
Phil Jamison wrote a few songs for them.
Yeah, Winona Ryder could absolutely get it.
Yeah, oh yeah, she could get a big one.
But like, I already liked her. Like, I really liked her in Scissorhands and Beetlejuice. But I don't love Beetlejuice.
Well, isn't she a kid in Beetlejuice?
She's playing a kid, but she's like would have been 20. She's an adult.
The loophole.
Yeah, this is one of those ones where that. Like Christian Bale is one of the only people that sort of looks like he could be an 18-year-old.
You mean Christian Slater?
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the
Batman?
The Machinist?
Sorry, no, Billy
Machine?
Slater.
Yeah. Yeah, Christian Slater does.
It's amazing that he did this
fucking-
movie and then went on to be one of the greatest fullbacks, if not the greatest fullback of all time.
He does look young as shit in this. Christian
Yeah.
Slater.
Yeah, he looks very young. But yeah, Winona Ryder.
I think he is pretty young in it as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
I think he's only 20
And Shannon Doherty, where she still has like a chubby youth face.
Oh, yeah.
She could get it too.
and is so white, but she does look very good.
Yeah. But like not charmed good.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we'll just tell
She
you
was
Mother
only
all-
in Charmed shortly, though, right?
She was in the first 2 seasons, maybe 3. First
Yeah.
3 seasons.
And see, but because I'm a big Rose McGowan
Yeah, Rose
fan,
McGowan came in season 4.
sexually. I would
Yeah,
love to-
yeah.
Oh, all the connections melding together.
Yeah, and Rose McGowan was in
Jawbreaker.
Jawbreaker.
And is
Damn.
one of my great characters.
Yeah. That's true.
You could argue that character got me laid.
Should we
You
make
could.
this
A short episode? Yes.
No, can we rename this podcast? We'll just tell your mother she could get it.
Yeah.
We'll just tell your mother that she could get it.
Yeah, when we call actresses' mothers and be like,
Yeah,
she could get it.
she could though. She could get it.
Hello? Mrs. Ryder? Yeah, your daughter? Yeah, she could get it.
Here's the thing about her.
confirm with
Do you
you
think that like
from me,
she's
she
obviously
could.
she's a good actress. Do you think she'll just forever be remembered for the shoplifting thing?
Ooh, maybe.
I think she's moved past it, to be honest. I think she's done some stuff since, which he's more known for than the shoplifting thing. Like
Eternal Sunshine was a big movie.
She definitely had a period where she was
Wait, that's
like,
not- that's Kate
no,
Winslet.
that's Kate Winslet.
Yeah,
but she definitely had that period where she was threatened to become bad late night monologue fodder. Where
Yeah.
It's like, you're seeing
Yeah.
this in the news today. The GOP cut tax. They've done more theft than Winona Ryder in a Gap.
I was watching old.
That's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was watching old.
Daniel, it's available. Get me on a rational fear. I want to be insufferable at Giant Dwarf.
I was watching old like Melbourne Comedy Festival gala spots at work the other day, and there was like I just watched like some of the really old ones that I'd taped for like nostalgia, and there was a guy who said that like they're drawn to it like unpaid items to Winona Ryder's handbag. They're
Oh,
drawn
man,
to it.
that's
I'm like,
sick.
ooh.
That's when you write that.
Ooh.
You've got to be like shelf life.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
Yeah,
dope.
Reese Nicholson did say that last night as he did a joke about Marie Kondo, and he said, I reckon that joke's got about 1 week left on it.
Well, my
Yeah,
thing-
probably.
I was saying this down in Melbourne this year. Is you know how every year there's like the phrase that gets used in everyone uses.
Yeah.
I
Then I
reckon.
fucked her.
I reckon Marie Kondo is the thing for
yeah,
this
sparking
That was
joy.
this year.
Sparking
Yeah.
joy, or this does not spark joy, or Marie Kondo would be the reference. Like last year, it would have been like triggering, like trigger
Yeah.
warning. We used in a lot of shows and stuff like that.
But
That
that
was a couple years in a row.
yeah, that because
When did Ma do it?
she won it in
2016.
2016.
Yeah, I reckon that year. So yeah, I reckon that was the year for that. There was like I remember there was a lot of stuff about like Avatar, like like weird like pop culture things like.
Oh, yeah.
2017, it was just Nanette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any Avatar reference will be so bad. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's not even like because Star Wars has stood the test of time.
Yeah.
I think probably maybe Marvel will because of just how big
It's
it
just
is.
impressive. what
There
they've
are
done.
a lot of fucking Avengers references going around. at
Yeah,
the moment.
but I don't like Avatar was just such a huge that it makes me so curious for how well Avatar 2 is going to do.
Dude, I reckon it's gonna bomb.
I don't think so, but I thought because I thought
I'm not gonna say it.
I thought Avatar was going to bomb, man. Like I was like, oh,
probably
James
should've.
Cameron, but like
Is that the highest grossing film of all time?
I think Endgame might.
Endgame
top
is
itself.
there.
Endgame
so-
was 2.
But
like,
Endgame's gonna top it, I think.
Endgame's
Right.
already beaten Titanic for some record.
Yeah,
or maybe
so it's
Titanic was number one.
Well, so
No, it
James
wasn't.
Cameron,
Or did that get overtaken by
James
Avatar?
Cameron posted a thing recently being like, congratulations on Endgame for beating Titanic on this particular record.
Yeah,
Right.
It is. I think it is Avatar's all-time box office leader, which is insane.
Yeah.
But like, I knew people like they were basic bitches, but like I knew people who saw Avatar in the cinema like 5 times.
Yeah, same. So dumb.
That's crazy.
Which means like even with diminishing returns, they might see it 2 times
Yeah.
or 1. Like,
So it's like they're whale hunting. They're not looking for broad appeal. They're looking for people who love this shit.
I mean, I get if you see a movie 5 times, you have to love it, right? But
Yeah.
I don't hear anyone anymore say, "Hey, what are your favorite movies?"
yeah,
And they say Avatar.
Hey, I saw Avatar 5 times. Once at the cinema and 4 times when I was a kid when I watched Fern Gully.
Hey.
Get him.
Got him.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you reckon about? I was thinking about this about the Sonic movie.
Ah, so good.
Who's
Oh,
it?
we won. We won.
Yeah, we got him.
Who's it for?
Us, I think.
Is that who it's for?
Well, it's for adults.
I think I think it's for like losers.
Oh,
Yeah.
like nostalgia
and
losers.
Losers and kids.
That's the only people.
Right.
Because
which is like the bad cross section.
But kids,
Excuse you for including me in that. by
but
the way.
kids don't know about Sonic
You know
anymore.
Sonic, like yeah, they do.
That's one
Sonic's
of the,
still very visible
Okay.
because he's got like animated shows. There's still games
Still?
pumping out. Yeah, yeah.
I know
yeah.
they still got the games coming out, but I thought they were mostly bought by weebs.
Yeah, but like Sonic is still a cultural icon in the same way you don't see.
That
you don't
was
see
a-
new Mickey Mouse shit coming out, but
Right.
everyone knows who Mickey Mouse
Right.
is.
Okay. So he's
Well,
still.
then, Sonic was a fucking huge thing when like game systems were becoming a thing.
Yeah. He was Sega's Mario, and Nintendo and
Yeah,
Sega were
basically.
pretty.
Well, he is Sega's Mario.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like so when Sega was like a major player in like the
Yeah.
market. But yeah, it's just
I had
like
a Mega Drive
do
and I
kids-
had Sonic games.
But yeah, I'm not sure that kids know about Sonic.
I think they do. I think there's
Do
still.
kids know about Ben Schwartz?
Yeah,
They will now.
They love John
UCB.
Ralphio.
Um,
I'm gonna see that Sonic.
Sonic would still be big in Japan, right?
Sonic.
Yeah, he'd still be big in Japan.
I don't know. I think like I think Sega in
Sonic
general.
is also big in like meme culture.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
the Mega Drive in general, I think was.
Well,
more
that's why I'm
popular.
asking who's it for. Is it for me? Because the watching the trailer, it looks like the movie's marketed at children, but it's like
But I think
seems to
there's
be
a-
for me.
I
Maybe
think
it's
there's a little
maybe-
something for daddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it's like that.
I will see it.
Maybe it's like the Detective Pikachu thing, where it's like marketed at like a younger market, but clearly knows that they're gonna get nostalgia.
Yeah, but the weird thing is,
Well,
that,
I
like,
think Detective Pikachu is being marketed older than most of Pokemon.
Yeah.
I think it's aimed at 12-year-olds,
and
not
Detective
6-year-olds.
Detective Pikachu's vibe is very much like we're self-aware. Like
Mm.
this
Yeah.
is a movie about Pokemon. Like this, they even like have in the trailer. He's like Pika Pika. Like,
It's all first-gen Pokemon in it as
Yeah,
well, which
and
means
it-
it's definitely a nostalgic throwback
and
thing.
the biggest thing in its way is like the laugh lines in the trailer for Detective Pikachu are actually funny.
yeah, they're good
the
jokes.
Sonic ones are dog shit.
I have.
Yeah.
I did 9 million steps on my Fitbit today.
Yeah,
I
good
haven't-
jokes.
I think Robotnik is pretty funny though.
I think Jim
Eggman?
Carrey.
yeah, but that'll be too much of a good thing.
I think Jim Carrey
Yeah.
will make or break this movie.
Yeah, I think he will make the
Is
first
he
20
Dr. Robotnik?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Right.
think he'll make
And he's playing it nuts.
yeah,
Like,
I
Right.
think he'll make maybe the first 20 minutes and then break the entire movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
can
I
see
haven't
that.
watched the trailer for either.
Oh, you
It's
should.
well worth your
fucking.
time.
It's very interesting. Robotnik is like, he's kind of like an insane Dr. Evil almost.
Yeah.
Like he does the whole like
Very
zip it-
Dr. Evil
gag.
vibes.
Like the zip it gag is pretty much like what he does.
Zip, zip.
And someone says basic, which really dates it to like this day and age.
Well, it's like 2 years ago, really.
Yeah,
Like,
well, which is why like I think Sonic will come out to like pretty negative reviews when it comes.
yeah, I agree. I'm very interested. Apparently, I'm going to see Detective Pikachu this week, I think.
But like
It's a
Detective,
bummer for Ben Schwartz because he's like a funny dude.
he would have made it's animated.
yeah, you'd make a ton of money and no one would know.
Animated
That's
movies
true.
don't affect your rep as much.
And
That's
also
true.
It's
like
visible.
also like if I was someone like because Ben Schwartz is around our age, I'd want to fucking voice Sonic if I
Oh,
got the
God,
opportunity.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I'll
And
do
he
it.
would have made millions
Yeah.
off it.
I grew up fucking. I knew what chili dogs were because of Sonic the Hedgehog, and
Man.
now I know what they are because I eat them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, and
Great.
like yeah, you know, I watched the animated show and played the games.
Yeah,
read
I did.
comics.
Played the games.
Did you get into Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine?
I had a copy of it. I like
man.
it because it's very
we
much
smashed it.
because it's very much like another Sega game called Columns that I had for free.
I had
So,
Columns, yeah. I would just get a tech because my friend had that like PlayStation package that had all of them on it, and you just get a text from him to everyone that just says "Bean?" ?
That's
I liked Sonic Spinball back in the day, but I think that would have
remember
held
that
up
one.
terribly. It was like
Is that the one that's the ping,
It's a combination of platform and pinball.
pinball? That's what I was looking
Right.
for.
Yeah,
I believe
but
I played that.
like the Sonic moves very slowly, which is a cardinal sin against pinball games and
And
Sonic
Sonic.
games. Yeah.
Yeah.
This might be the most we've ever talked about movies, but we've not really talked about the movie.
No.
Yeah. I honestly, I
a
think
good
it's-
chunk on Lars von Trier.
Well, it's interesting. Like with Sonic, is it's such a limited concept for a game now, in that the only way people can seem to do it right, where it gets reviewed well,
Yeah.
is to do it deliberately like it was
Yeah.
on the Mega Drive, even down to like emulating the graphics. If
Yeah.
you made like a very updated modern Sonic that was 2D, people would still be like, but
Yeah.
the soul is missing.
Yeah, if you were to do like a Super Mario Brothers U sort of thing, what's it
Yeah,
called?
New Super Mario Bros.
New Super Mario. If you were to do that style for Sonic, it would be
Yeah, I
weird.
think people need to have it pixelated,
Yeah.
but like it
Did
doesn't.
you ever see the like live action Super Mario Brothers
No, never.
movie?
I've
Yes.
heard it's-
I did, but I was so young I couldn't remember it all. But
Yeah.
apparently that was like beyond pan.
I'd love to watch it again.
I was too busy watching Lars von
Who
Trier
is it? It's
films
like
when I was
Bob
a child.
Hoskins.
It's
and
Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo, yeah.
Yeah, I think
And
that's right.
Dennis Hopper is Bowser.
All
But
right.
Bowser's a person in it.
Bowser's a person who like loves lizards or is a lizard or something like that.
Jesus.
And they are like New York plumbers that go into the sewer and find like a dinosaur land. Like Yoshi
Yeah.
is like a legit like gross dinosaur.
Yeah, great, perfect. That's what you want.
I think that there have been like critical reappraisals of Super Mario Brothers movie where some people like it was actually ahead of its time, and most people are like, no, it's a piece of dog shit.
yeah.
That's great. Oh man,
Have you seen the first Street Fighter movie?
Yes.
No, but that's with Van Damme, right?
Yeah, it's
Kylie
very
Minogue
bad.
is in it too.
Yeah, she's
Our Kylie.
Cammy.
Yeah.
It's got because Raul Julia is M. Bison in that. It was his final role, and he had cancer at the time. So like obviously M. Bison's meant to be like the strongest fighter in the game. Like Raul Julia, the person, could barely like walk or move at that
Yeah.
point. So which is why he does like nothing in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. You played the latest Mortal Kombat yet?
No, I've heard it's great.
I've heard it's sick.
I read a great Kotaku article about the people who worked on Mortal Kombat have all got PTSD.
Yeah, because they were doing real life research,
Yeah,
right?
Because there's like you go into the NetherRealm offices and they're like looking at like hangings and like crime scene
They're
photos.
looking at real life footage of people getting their heads cut
Yeah,
off
so
and
they
shit.
can like
So
What to like get the graphics for like fatalities?
Yeah, to
and
know how
stuff.
to animate a
Jesus
fatality.
so they can
Christ.
so they've all got like leave time because like they can't stop dreaming about like gruesome accidents.
They're like train drivers who get 6 months after somebody fucking jumps
Yeah.
in front of the train.
and all they're doing is like making cartoonishy things where like someone like uses a gun to rip your asshole
that's
out.
crazy. Like, looking up like real life, man rips arm off and then beats
Yeah,
other person
like
with
they've
it.
looked it up so like down to like so they can tell where the spatter goes.
Oh,
and you're
man.
just like, just
And,
make
like-
it a fountain of red.
yeah, like is anyone that worried?
I do love all the gore from those.
I mean,
games,
the
though.
gore rules.
Yeah,
Like-
they are fun. It is
No,
fun.
the Goro rules.
Yeah, the Goro
Yes.
does rule as well.
Goro's in Surrey Hills.
Yeah, I like that. I like that venue.
I've always thought that place is very overrated.
I think it's
did-
underrated.
I did too until a threesome was pitched to me there a couple of weekends ago, and I was like, I think I love this venue now.
I think it's underrated
Yeah.
because it seems like it has all the trappings of a wanky bar, but it has a pokies area and a huge smoking area, and it's not that
Where's the huge smoking area? I've only ever been stuck out in the pokies.
to the side. It's like maybe 2 steps beyond the pokies.
Isn't that just like a tiny veranda?
No, there's this little
No, it's
smoking
like
area.
it's a pretty big veranda.
Yeah. Did I mention that I had a threesome the other week? It's important to me that you guys know that I had a threesome the other week.
Did you mention it on the pod?
You definitely mentioned it to us, but
Yeah, I
I
had a
don't think
threesome
you've
the
said
other
it on
week.
the pod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem like the kind of guy that would have very sad threesomes.
Yeah.
Like, not a critique.
What's a
but-
sad threesome look like?
Well, just like a kind of
you
like
in the
it's-
corner eating a sandwich while the others.
Not even that. It's just kind of
I
like
was watching for a little bit.
it's just kind of like later.
No, I reckon I would, wouldn't mind just sitting back for a
It's,
sec.
it's I needed a break, and I was like, view's not bad.
I think it's kind of
This is a bad conversation.
Yeah. Why did you bring it up?
I just want people to know that I had a threesome.
the Andrew Hastings unsexy threesome to me kind of reads like like everything's all the parts are there, but it's all kind of like desperate and unset. Have you seen the movie Blue Valentine?
No.
So it's like about like a relationship disintegrating with Ryan Gosling and
Michelle
Michelle
Williams.
Williams, and it's fantastic. But
It's a
there's
very
part
good movie.
where,
Very
like,
depressing.
To like rekindle their sex life, they go to like this weird like
sex hotel.
space-themed sex hotel,
Yeah.
and like they're trying, but it turns into like a huge fight. But like the part where they're trying seems like you having a throwaway.
Okay,
is
right.
what I mean.
No, it was like a good.
Yeah, I
threesome.
reckon that feels pretty spot on.
I've had a couple of threesomes, and this was the best one.
Yeah, but I mean, they
Yeah.
still all feel quite depressing to me.
Yeah, yeah. I think
the best out of
depressing.
two bad ones. That's not.
No, one was good, one was bad, and this is now a third.
Oh yeah,
one,
I
and this
trust
one
that
was
they're good, but just in my head, the image of you having a threesome,
Oh,
Yeah.
like it
Yeah.
never gets. I'm never like, whoa. Damn,
Except also the
Hastings.
people involved are not quite as beautiful as Ryan Gosling and Michelle Williams.
Yeah, I know, but like
I
it
don't
doesn't
think that's.
matter.
I think maybe they are. I think I'm as beautiful as Ryan Gosling.
I'm at least trying
I
to
think you're
not
wrong.
give you that credit. Like,
Yeah. Oh man.
we should talk about the actual movie because we've been going for 45
about
minutes.
Sonic.
I mean,
No, Melancholia.
honestly, I really liked this fucking movie. I thought
Yeah,
it was
we
really-
actually liked the movie.
It was
we
real
haven't talked
charming.
about it.
What I think. Yeah, what I was saying is, I think the stuff about like teen suicide is really interesting. Like, it's a real interesting way to like. Was that covered much in movies before then?
I don't think so.
Probably
not in
not.
not in like a glib way.
Yeah,
Either.
I kind of liked it. It was kind of almost like not realistic.
Glib is the
but,
wrong
like,
word because it's not glib.
Yeah.
Like it's not like fuck it, but it.
It was
is-
very kind of like
Kind of matter of fact.
Yeah, the movie was also very knowingly like self-aware.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was a lot of like very silly jokes came
Oh
out of
man,
nowhere.
the best joke in the movie is where Christian Slater explains that mineral water makes people think you're gay. And then the cops catch him and they're like, oh, it's bad. And they pull out mineral water. That one I was just like, oh man, like that is like maybe even in 2019 that could be an acceptable gay joke. Like
Yeah,
just
you
such
could
a-
totally do that.
like just such an obscure fact.
There's a lot of like it's very like
I love mineral water.
it's very of its time and its place because they're like saying like why is making them gay bad? And they're like, it's Ohio. Like,
Yeah.
There's like this is Middle America.
Yeah,
like, you could like most of the like
The joke is at the expense of gay people, but it's not like that.
Well,
I feel like more.
I feel
not
like
even.
I feel like it's more at the expense of people.
Small
like,
town.
Yeah,
the
it's-
people,
it's
the
making
people
fun of
thinking that
kids.
you're gay if you like mineral water.
Yeah.
What the stuff with the teen suicide I thought was interesting, like the way because a lot
Yeah,
of
you
the,
keep returning to that,
I
and it's
have
very telling.
I have a point that I want to make about it that I'm not getting to yet. I think it's interesting, like how the whole movie's kind of about this sort of like media hysteria about and the whole.
I wouldn't say
reason-
media is a huge part.
it's not
of
media,
it.
but like also like culture. Like I think the media element's implied, but it's like this culture thing where they become obsessed with suicide. Like,
Yeah.
it becomes like this cultural thing, and like I think that's kind of like realistic in the whole so where they keep saying like, oh, people believe what they want to believe and stuff like
Yep,
that.
yep, yep.
That's really like good. I really like that stuff. And can remind you, do you know about the story about the Daily Mail story when the Black Parade came out?
No.
So
Basically, what happened is there was an interview, and they said, "Why did you black your eyes
not
up
what
and dye your
happened.
hair?" And Gerard Way said it was because I wanted to look like someone who had cancer.
never said
It's a great album.
that. He never said that.
I think he did say that.
He did say that. He said it.
I actually do think Rose is right.
Yeah,
Like,
he
I
said
disagree with Rose's point that Black Parade is bad. Like I think that's
that is
maybe-
what
I-
happened.
I'll believe
That
it.
maybe
definitely
that's
happened.
Rose's worst take ever. That Black Parade is bad. But
Absolutely.
like I think the story is correct.
Someone send me a link. Like, oh.
I swear to God.
I think that's the whole point. Like
Yeah,
that-
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's supposed to be the
No,
patient.
because
The
he's
song
not
on
pa-
it is
he's
called
not playing-
Cancer.
He's not playing the patient. He's playing the leader of the Black Parade. It's a different.
but
character.
also the patient. It's
No, he's
layered.
not
It's
playing-
layered.
And then someone in the artwork, there's a different person playing the patient. It's like a guy, like with
I
his
don't
hair
know,
and stuff.
man.
He also has the black
Be a
device.
Photoshop. Anyway, we've got off the topic.
Anyway, so what happened when the Black Parade came out? It was just a similar thing. It was sensationalist magazine, or sensationalist newspaper trying to like G up, concerned
bloke.
You
families.
trying to jam me up? You
Yeah.
trying to fucking jam me up?
Same shit, right? And so basically, they published an article saying that the Black Parade and My Chemical Romance have a suicide death cult for teenagers.
Oh,
And they're
yeah.
actively encouraging teenagers to kill themselves.
And as
Because,
someone
like,
who
one
was
per-
part of that, was it true?
No, it's not true. Not true at all. And I think because like one person mentioned them in a suicide note.
Yeah, I mean
yeah.
that's been done with like video games and
Been done with
stuff
Blink-182.
before, and- Yeah,
Blink-182 have like stopped playing.
I'm pretty
Adam Song
sure
Live.
like movies and TV shows as
For
well
sure.
have done it.
But anyway, so then in one of the lamest smartest moves in emo history. They did like an emo march on the offices of the Daily Mail to like defend My Chemical Romance.
A lot of anemia.
Like you
walking
wouldn't have
down.
fucking gone on it if it was in the same city.
I would have
as you.
gone if I, as 16-year-old me, when that album came out, I would have gone on that parade to fuck.
Yeah, Hastings.
Yeah,
would've
and
gone
now you
with
would
it.
just go on it to like vehemently defend the band.
Hastings would have
great
gone
band.
on it with a clear agenda. Like, he's going to be like, there's going to be a lot of people who like.
Got a typed up agenda.
Yeah.
Hey, baby, you sad about all this?
Yeah. What do you think? Like, actually, socio-political. And then
Yeah.
she's like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, no, but it's.
I'm also implying that you're fucking 16-year-old.
But it was.
Yeah.
No, I'm 16 as well in this scenario.
Not in my one.
yeah.
In my one, you're-
You are
in my-
28 years old.
In my one, you're 28 and engaged and think that saying socio-political is the key to unlocking a 16-year-old's heart.
Yeah.
Oof.
Trying to affect those little woke overachievers.
Yeah, no, but it's like watching like 16-year-olds like British emos just being like
British emos, the saddest ones.
it's so sad. But them just being like, actually, My Chemical Romance is like a family for us, and they give us hope. Like, and it's like
The first
shut
time
up,
I
dude.
read
It's
about
like-
them in NME, I knew it was love.
I found out about them from Kerrang.
Kerrang gave them 5 Ks.
Five guitars.
After this, I'm going on march to defend Enter Shikari.
The only
Then I'm
way.
going to go watch the Libertines.
There's one way, and it's the Gerard way.
Yeah. There's the right way, the wrong way, and the Gerard way.
Yeah.
That's a John Conway joke, right?
Yeah. And a
Um,
Simpsons joke.
Yeah, he's cancelled. So probably.
What was the Simpsons joke?
That's the right way, wrong way, Max Power.
Way.
But
Yeah.
the John Conway
But
one was,
the John Conway one.
Right
works
way,
'cause of
wrong
his
way, the
name.
John Conway.
There's the
Yeah.
John Conway.
Turns out the John Conway, not so good.
Yeah. Turns out we can't talk about that.
Well, no, but the thing is like he says there's the right way, the wrong way, and the
Remember,
John
like,
Conway.
The thing is, though, he's
but
actually innocent.
he doesn't say what way the John Conway is.
Yeah.
It could be right or wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, from now on, that joke is there's the right way, the wrong way, and the Gerard way.
Yeah.
We've
good
updated
stuff.
the joke so we can say it now.
Yeah, it's woke now.
It's actually a woke take.
So your point, like, what's the link between Heathers and the parade? Like,
Yeah.
the-
Oh, just the like,
I think you
sort
just
of-
wanted to talk about my.
No, like the sort of like cultural hysteria around teen suicide and how it's like sort of
Totally.
manipulated for people's own purposes rather than actually trying to like protect the kids.
Yeah, like how they were putting the suicide note into the fucking yearbook.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's that famous moment in Fahrenheit 9/11 where Marilyn Manson is talking to Michael Moore and he's like, "What would you say to these kids?" And he's like, "I wouldn't say a word. I just listen." And then
No,
it's
that's
just like-
bowling.
Damn.
That's bowling for Columbine.
Oh yeah, bowling
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Columbine.
Fahrenheit 9/11 is all about 9/11.
Yeah.
Bowling for Columbine's about
he's like,
Columbine.
what would you say to Muhammad Atta? Not a word. I just listen. And then 9/11 just still happens.
The next scene is the plane going in.
That's so funny. Michael Moore cheeseburgers, if you ask me.
So Michael Moore's done a sequel to Fahrenheit 9/11, right? There's Fahrenheit 11/9 came out last year. I
We've
think.
talked about this on the podcast.
Have we?
Yeah.
It's a takedown of Trump, right?
Yeah, we
I think
have
so,
absolutely
yeah.
talked about this on like a very
Man,
early episode.
taking
of the
down
podcast.
Trump, that's pretty cool.
I wish I had the power to take down
I
Trump.
wish I could just get in that fucking Cheeto face's face.
Do you know what
Tell
I
him know
found?
what I think.
Do you know what I found oddly charming in this movie was even though the dad is obviously a cunt and the kid's a psycho, well they're both psychos, was like that weird little thing they had
where
where like
they imitate each other's
yeah.
stuff.
I thought I found that quite charming. I don't
Yeah,
know.
me too. It's funny that the dad also kills people.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah.
And he knows.
yeah, and he just thinks it's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, the psycho dad's
Really,
terrifying. in
really
this.
explains a lot about Christian Slater in that movie.
Mm.
Yeah, you guys should meet my dad.
Let's tell him. Yeah, maybe he'll take down Trump.
Maybe.
I feel like Trump he's God, dude. I remember. Do you remember when that fucking book, The Fire and the Fury, came
Yeah.
out? The one, and everyone was like, "This book is gonna be it." Because I was in LA at the time, and like there was a very popular like indie left wing bookstore that had already like made a big deal about how every copy had sold out, and the book wasn't coming out for like another 3 days, and they were like, "This is gonna be the like once this book gets released, like the stuff he's gonna get impeached for sure."
Yeah.
Do you imagine he's just like sitting in the White House, like laughing, jacking off?
Oh,
and
he's just, like,
eating
I'm
spaghettios with his
untouchable.
bare hands, just
Yeah.
like putting them on his. Being
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I've got the Infinity Gauntlet." Just,
No, he knows he's untouchable for sure.
yeah.
Man, isn't it nearly time for re-election anyway? Like people like I know the primaries are happening soon.
Yeah, I think it's still like a year or
It's 2022, right? No,
Yeah.
it's like
No, it has to be 2020, right?
2020, I think.
Yeah,
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 everyone's
it's
saying
2020.
Hillary 2020
Yeah.
and all that shit. Yeah.
19, 20,
Who do you reckon's
Anyone
getting it?
remember
Do you
that song?
reckon Bernie?
I reckon we got to
Biden?
be the Bernie Bros. Dude.
Yeah, I'm a Bernie bro.
I haven't followed it much, but the little I've seen seems to suggest it's going to be a Bernie.
I got in trouble for liking Bernie Sanders the other day because he doesn't support sex workers.
Yeah, but does Joe Biden?
No, of course not. That's my argument.
Does Donald Trump?
No, absolutely
You
not.
couldn't get
I mean,
away-
he financially supports them.
Yeah, got him.
Yeah, got his ass.
The book couldn't take him down. The Mueller report couldn't take him down.
We'll just tell you
We'll
another
just
way.
take another way at it all. You couldn't get away with having a pro-sex work platform in America.
I think
could you?
AOC could do it.
Not federally. No.
AOC maybe, but she's like what,
I
29 years old.
I looked
She's
it up.
not running
AOC
for
hasn't
office
made
yet.
any statements about it whatsoever. I think she's deliberately not saying anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty unpopular.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sucks because, they're getting murdered a lot and shit.
Yeah, but it'll take it'll just
Yeah.
take like a few years for that stuff to like
Yeah,
happen.
no, I know. I'm with you, dude. I'm a Bernie bro.
Yeah, dude.
Or about 6 years after Trump gets in again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait to be a Bernie
We
bro.
we have our federal election next weekend.
I've already
Well,
voted.
it will have already happened
Yeah.
by the time this comes out.
I already voted. I pre-voted.
How'd you pre-vote?
Right.
You just go in and pre-vote.
Was
Where?
that to symbolise your life where
like
you
near my work.
pre-cum and come
Shit.
early?
Yeah,
I didn't realize you
can-
could do that. You can
pre-vote.
avoid the fucking lines.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck, I gotta get on and.
Yeah.
You don't want to
on
go
this.
out and have yourself a bloody democracy sausage,
Especially
mate.
because you work in the city, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
well,
you-
when I show up,
You took he looked like he was going to get got by that.
I
one.
did. It did get. But yeah,
Yeah, because you can just go do it like anywhere because you live in the Sydney electorate.
Let's make an
Goddamn
Australian
right I do.
politically charged porno called Democracy Sausage.
That's not bad.
yeah, that's pretty funny.
How would it go? It's just Trump and he's
And it's got
or is it Australian? Is it
Yeah.
ScoMo?
No, it's
So,
Australian, yeah.
ScoMo,
It's ScoMo and
and
Shorten.
Michael Hing
Yeah.
having sex.
We should get Hing on the podcast.
Yeah, Hing would be great. He'd hate it, but like,
Nah, he's
Nah,
fun.
he's
Yeah,
fine.
no,
He's alright.
I reckon he would come in here all guns blazing more than anyone else.
He loves to shit on the big dog.
Yeah.
But he would shit on like the big dog,
Yeah.
the Jamie dog, the trans dog, and the whole concept of the podcast.
Yeah.
The table that
and
we
then
record at.
and then we'd beg for jobs at the feed.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
after he
yeah.
doesn't win the election, let's just get him on. If he becomes a senator, it might be harder to lock him
Yeah.
down.
We done.
Well,
50
we have him on at Powerbomb a week after he may
It's
or
gonna
may
be
not
so
be
funny
elected.
if we have a senator headline.
I hope it
Yeah,
sells
yeah.
fucking tickets.
Surely, if he wins, surely he cancels the spot, right?
no,
Oh, almost certainly.
I'm locking him in.
yeah, this is
That's
a
that's the funny cancellation. Be like, yeah, sorry, did I cancel the spot?
I'm a senator.
I'm a senator.
Man,
now.
yeah, but then you fucking get him. You do a attacker, and you'll be like, Michael Hing doesn't support small business.
Yeah.
We relied on him to bring us in income, and he bailed because of his fucking little politics career.
Yeah.
He's
and then
out.
we get done by
He's
the
out.
taxation department for shonky cash in hand dealings.
Oh,
that's a good point.
maybe let's bleep that.
This is a joke podcast.
Yeah, it
Clearly, what I said was a joke.
Satire.
It's just
We're
for
protected
fun.
under parody laws. We're doing the parody of a comedy.
Oh, that reminds me, Jamie. I have to give you this big box full of invoices.
This is just a big box of cash.
Jamie.
I want to have a cigarette. Let's finish the podcast.
Anyway, we liked the movie, and sorry we didn't. Talk
And so
about it
should
more.
you. But Sonic, Trump, all things that people should be talking
Melancholia.
about. Yeah. Remember Doggo 95? That was great.
Yeah,
Man, that was a good riff.
Come to Powerbomb every week. It's actually good. Like, it's really good.
It's like one of the best comedy riffs.
Don't
know what
say
the
it's
fuck-
actually good because that makes it sound like it isn't, and it is.
Well, speaking of actually
good show.
UTS is starting to come good.
Yeah, UTS.
So you should come to that every third Thursday and the other Thursday.
But only if you're a UTS student. Like, really, why are you going
Well,
there? if
we're
you're not?
getting some other people too. It seems.
We
like.
are?
Yeah, I think so. We're getting some.
We
older
had
people.
one at a show that we did where there were UTS students, but with their friend who was a Macquarie Uni student.
That's me.
Yeah,
This is my alma mater.
yeah.
All right.
All right.
Come to Comedy at Papa Getty's. It's the third Tuesday of every month.
I can't be bothered doing the open mic bit.
Yep.
Okay.
Good.
To the next step.
To the next step.
Is this from first to
It's
last?
the song.
When's he going to say something?
Yeah, this isn't a good bit.
When's he going to say something?
Never.
Oh.